White Christmas, 68. It was Christmas Eve, 1968. I was 17, and all I wanted for Christmas was the new 2-record White album by the Beatles and a stereo to play it on. Dad had already left for his job at GE, and Mom was on her way to work when she told me to just stay in the house, take care of my 8-year-old brother, don't have any kids over, and don't do anything to cause any trouble because it was Christmas Eve. As soon as the door shut behind Mom, I was on the phone to my friends and invited them over for a good time. When the 4 guys and 2 girls arrived, the first thing we did was to cover all the windows with blankets and string all the extra blinking Christmas lights around the room to turn it into a psychedelic palace. Next, I removed the back panel from my parents' hi-fi player and hooked up the 2 extra speakers to simulate stereo, which, by the way, my parents had never seen. With Hendrix blaring from the player, lights flashing, several couples nestled comfortably upstairs, and my brother being chased through the house screaming, I dressed in my brightly colored paisley Nehru shirt with the bell-bottom sleeves and sporting chain with medallion around my neck, laid down on the floor with my head between the 2 contraband speakers, closed my eyes, and floated off into dreams of psychedelic sugar plums. It was during the second verse of Voodoo Child I felt the gentle kick in my ribs and opened my eyes to see Dad, who had gotten out of work early, standing over me and exclaiming, "What the hell is this? Teenage Barn?" A local TV show where local teenagers showcased their amateur talents. Then he turned and stormed out the door. Lights and blankets came down. Speakers were put back into the closet, and everyone was sent home. For the rest of the day, Dad showed his anger by not speaking a word to me. Mom, who had gotten the bad report, asked, "How could you do this today of all days?" But she seemed to soften toward me as the day progressed. That evening, the presents were unwrapped one by one, and when there were no more under the tree, I had in my possession the coveted White Album. But there was no new stereo in sight. Still feeling the sting of Dad's angry stares, I took the 2-record treasure into the den and proceeded to play sides 1 through 3 on the old hi-fi system with a tone arm that weighed the same as a carpenter's hammer and had a thick needle that scratched a new path into the stereo grooves of the Fab Four's latest effort. As I put the 4-side onto the changer for a listen, I heard Mom call from the kitchen for me to come in. When I got there, on the table with a big red bow, sat the portable stereo I had dreamed of. "We almost didn't give this to you after what you pulled today," Mom said. I'm reminded of that Christmas many years ago every time I hear While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and wonder if maybe it's crying for that original copy of that 2-record set that was ruined on that old hi-fi that Christmas Eve in 1968.